Good afternoon, this is Marie, and I'd like to introduce you to our newest member here at MercyMed, Jamie Benefield. She's a dietitian, and we just look forward for her helping us to learn how to eat more healthy. And today she's got a special recipe that you may like to do for the to snack on during the season, and some ideas of how to take into eat more healthily and not miss on the fun of the holiday season. Jamie?
Okay, so Becca is filming right now, but she's going to post this lovely little list of tips. It's just going to help you to navigate your holiday parties. So the first tip you'll see whenever you go and look at this for yourself on the next post is, one, you really need to eat all of your meals at your normal meal times. Parties are going to be all over the place at all different kinds of times, so don't wait to eat until then. If you normally eat at 5:30 and you know your party's at 7:30, go ahead and have a balanced snack. Some cheese, low-fat cheese and fruit would be a good option. And also just make sure that if you're on the go, that you have those snacks ready to go in your purse, in your car. You just want to make sure that you are avoiding any hypoglycemic episodes. So your second tip on your sheet you'll see is to make your plate at these parties and then get away from that table. I myself am the worst about sitting right beside the food table and I'm just going to have one more cookie and then I just keep putting them on my plate, and so we want to avoid that. So find your friend, get your plate, and then go find another place to socialize. Focus on the social aspect and maybe not so much on eating as many great things as possible. So that leads us to your third tip. Maybe you call the host ahead of time and you say, what is everyone bringing? And she says, well, they're bringing sweet potatoes, they're bringing desserts, they're bringing alcoholic beverages, they're bringing a bunch of mixed dishes. And as someone with diabetes probably knows, those are high in carbohydrates. So maybe you would be the one to say, I'm going to bring the vegetable dish. I'll bring the non-starchy vegetables like roasted broccoli, roasted cauliflower, and that will pair really nice with some roasted turkey perhaps. That will be one of your dinner options. And then that leads us to your fourth tip, to be mindful of your selections. Really know what's going to be on that plate. How many carbohydrate choices are you choosing? Keep up with that. That way you can dose your insulin properly if that's something that you're taking. And then your fifth tip, choose water. This is always a good tip. Choose water. It's going to help you stay hydrated during these holiday parties. And if you do choose to drink alcohol, make sure that you limit that. Okay? And now we'll jump into our recipe. So on that same post that Becca's going to post, you'll see the sugar and spice roasted chickpeas. And so some people have never tried chickpeas. Have you tried them, Marie?
They're good. I like hummus. I'm not sure if I said it right.
Hummus. Good job.
Hummus?
You got it. Hummus, hummus, whatever it is.
I like hummus as well. So this is kind of what they look like. They're also called garbanzo beans. So at the store, they'll come in a little can like this. They'll either say chickpeas or garbanzo beans right there. So you can just pick those up at the store. I think they're about 85 cents at Publix. I'm sure they're much cheaper at Aldi or Walmart. I wasn't able to find the prices online, but just stop by and see what they are. And then another item that I'm going to talk about later, but with the sugar and spice chickpeas, we're going to be using Splenda. This is their brown sugar blend, and this is just going to be a little bit friendlier to your overall blood glucose. So check this out. Also got this one at Publix. So the first thing that we're going to do before we get started is our oven's preheated to 400, and we're going to go ahead and spray our pan with cooking spray. I suggest that you use something like a canola oil or olive oil based spray. This is going to be just a little bit healthier for you. So next, we're in a medium bowl.
And she has drained the chickpeas.
I have drained the chickpeas.
They're drained.
And we want them to be as dry as possible. I used a paper towel. If you have a strainer at home, that's great. If you don't, go ahead and put them in the bowl and maybe get a paper towel after you've washed your hands and kind of dry those with a paper towel. That'll work just as effectively. It'll just take them a little while to roast if they're not completely dry. So we sprayed our cooking sheet. So now we're ready to mix everything. So we've drained these chickpeas, they're in the bowl here. Now we're gonna mix our spices. So if you look at your ingredient list, we have cinnamon. So we're gonna go ahead and pour the cinnamon.
And the cinnamon is 1 teaspoon.
And then we have the cumin.
The cumin is 1 teaspoon.
And then we have some chili powder.
And that's 1/4 of a teaspoon.
And then we have a little bit of salt.
And that looks like about 1/4 of a teaspoon.
And then this is pre-measured, but your recipe is going to call for 2 tablespoons of olive oil, but for this part of our recipe, we just want to pour in 1. So this is pre-measured. So now we're going to mix all of these up. So my suggestion is to put these in a deeper bowl. These chickpeas can kind of roll around. So, and make sure you're scraping the bottom. Let's get them nice and coated with all of those different spices and the olive oil.
And just looking at this, would you take and put your Splenda brown sugar blend in last?
So yeah, so we're gonna mix these all up, and then actually next we're gonna pour them on the baking sheet.
Okay.
And we're gonna spread those evenly, just so they have a lot of room to just kind of roast and get dry. And so we're gonna put these in for about 40-45 minutes, and about every 10 minutes, go ahead and just kind of flip those over, spread them around. So we'll put these in. So for the purposes of our cooking demo, I have some that we have pre-made to get us to this point. So let's say these have been in the oven for 45 minutes. We've tossed them, so they're ready to go. And this is what they're gonna look like. So we'll go ahead and pour these cooked chickpeas that are in all of our spices. They're nice and dry. So we're gonna pour the remaining other half of that 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So this will just be 1 tablespoon. We'll go ahead and pour that in there. And then we're gonna go ahead and pour in our brown sugar. All right. And then we're gonna mix them up. Get them nice and combined. Make sure that you kind of got that brown sugar olive oil mixture kind of covering each of your chickpeas.
So it's kind of got a sweet and spicy type flavor with a little bit of crunch.
Yeah, they're really similar to me as pralines, but they're not gonna quite have as much of that sweetened sugar taste. It's gonna be just a lot friendlier overall for you as a diabetic.
And this would be good for our vegetarians also.
Absolutely, and these chickpeas have a little bit of protein, so it's a super balanced snack. So your next step is wax paper, parchment paper, whatever you might have. Parchment's best, but if wax is all you have, that's okay. So once they're nice and combined, you're gonna go ahead and evenly just kind of spread those out just to make sure that they have space to dry. And so you will dry these for about 20 minutes. And once the 20 minutes are up, give or take, they may be done a little sooner, they may be dry a little later. Just kind of use your judgment. But after about 20 minutes or so, you'll have chickpeas that look like this. And I just made this little container out of some craft paper that I had in my craft room. So this makes for a nice holiday treat. So again, the recipe is going to be on Facebook. And if you have any questions or want more recipes like this, you can visit the Diabetes Food Hub, and it's with the American Diabetes Association website.
And just to let you know, Jamie is a dietitian, and we would be glad if you need some help with diet tips or you're having a struggle with it. And she does even more than diabetes. Let us know, and as providers, we can put in the referral, and we just look forward to working with her. And I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.